Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Evercade podcast. How's everybody doing this morning? Crow's messing around with I don't know what.
You don't know what. I'm messing around with
Yeah, don't prejudge him.
Oh,
I thought that was pretty clear when I was holding up comic books.
How are you guys doing this morning? Or maybe just me. What are you doing over there?
I'm bagging comic books.
Wow, whoa, where did you get into comic books?
Okay.
My neighbor sold me over 200 comic books.
Oh, damn.
The power was out
Steam
yesterday,
game.
and I was like, the power went out yesterday, and I was like, okay, you know what? I don't need any power to bag these comic books, so I'm like, I kind of want to finish.
Don't need the power.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we have a few things to talk about today. You know, people are getting their Tomb Raider collections. A lot of people are still waiting on the EXP, VSs, and whatever else they ordered from Blaze. But
Alphas. I don't know. I got the last two Thalamus and Tomb Raider. Ripped the cartridges and put them back on the shelf.
Actually, I actually opened mine and actually played the Tomb Raider one, which is fun.
Tomb Raider's cool. I've been enjoying that. Actually, Thalamus I haven't opened yet, but I'll probably make a video.
To be honest, I'm looking more forward to Thalamus than Tomb Raider, so I'll probably go with the Thalamus one before Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
when I do get to it.
If anything, I got more annoyed when I played 2 and 3 that like I didn't know you could skip the tutorials. But like the tank controls are fine so far.
You know what? I don't know why people call them tank controls, because you don't control a tank that way.
It feels like it.
With tank controls, you have two levers. You move both forward to go forward, both back to go back, one forward to do a slight turn, and then one forward, one back to turn harder. Those are tank controls. So why are they calling Tomb Raider tank controls?
The stiffness. Like you feel like a tank, like turning. All right, let's see. Got some people going in the chat. Let's see who we have. We got channel members and regulars and all kinds of stuff. Starting off with Lloyd JRM, Annie Piranha, Genejoke, David D, the Foster of Nathan, Rasta, the Sojourn who is immortal, Ballistic Coffee Boy, the Puddle of Corniness. Hey, Jason Shears, haven't seen you in a while. Darren Chapman, Robert G. Murdoch. I think I said that right. And back in the day they called them rotation controls. One thing that I have noticed, which is kind of cool playing Tomb Raider, I think they're used in addition to using a better capacity, I think they're using instead of using a larger memory size, I think they're using better quality. Or they've optimized the saves, because when you save, it's pretty instant. Because normally it goes like, and it
that's actually why when I'm doing recordings, and I have this habit, I don't think I could get out of doing it now, but when I do a save state and it comes back, I instantly go back and reload the save state, because then I don't get that juddering. So then when I edit the video, it's smoother.
Oh, nice. Work. Before we talk about some updates, actually did a poll for once, and somebody kind of relating to the Giga cards, and the one section nobody voted on, which is kind of funny. Because I was curious to know, with the cost of just like the cost of things. Let's see if people see that. Yes, they can. Just kind of with the cost of things, I wanted to know, let's say Blaze, if they were to get, because we talk about this often, if they were to get two big developers, something like, or publishers, whatever you want to call them, like SNK, Sega, Capcom, Taito, and there were cart deals, and let's say you'd have 5 to 6 games on the collections, there wouldn't be Giga cards, but I'm like, how much would people pay? And the funny thing is, I put other for the complainers, because a lot of times people will say, well, there's no other category. I'm like, no one voted for that. But it looks this used to be these were the $25 USD and the I won't pay more we're at neck and neck for 26. But I'm happy to see that people would pay up to $35. People, it looks like 32%, 30. So
Can I complain about your poll?
Yeah, complain.
Why specific dollar values? Why not dollar ranges? Why not say like $20 to 25, and then like 25 to 30, and then 30, 30 to 40, and then 40 plus, and have those be options?
Because that wasn't specific enough. Because it's
Well, okay, if you wanted to get specific, why not? Where's $29.99?
well, that's basically the same thing as 30. Like it's off like a couple.
You wanted to be specific.
Well, to be honest, I even think over $30 is too much. But I was curious to see what people like. If I were like, my vote would be like at $30. Because we kind of talked about was like the top end. Because I think after that you start to get into Switch territory for some things for physical copies. So I was just curious to see.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay more than what we're paying now for Giga carts. I think that's enough. Anything more than that's a price grab.
Honestly, the longer they go, the more inevitable it is that the price will need to
Well,
go
if it goes
So-
up with inflation like every 5 years or something, but the value proposition has to go up, right? And you can't have the value proposition because it's what somebody perceives as two big publishers. There has to be, for me, like the Giga cart's a value proposition. Bigger games, bigger cart makes sense. But if they're just going to put like more Capcom games on it or Sega games, I'm not going to pay more for that. I can play those games anywhere. So for me, that's not an improvement. That there's nothing. Now, if they had like a something else on the cart, like a 2 Giga cart or something, then that justifies a price increase.
What? Okay, let's rewind back. We had those like Atari Collection 1, Atari Collection 2. Both those cartridges were around $20 USD. They both had 20 games.
And you could find them on sale for $16 sometimes.
What if they had an Atari Collection that had 40 games on it, but they charged $35 for it?
No. I don't know because I paid $29.
What do you mean? No, you already paid $40 for 2, and you got the same amount of games.
Yeah, but you can get the one on Switch. I think it's like $29 or $39. You get like 125 games.
Yeah, okay, but now we're going and looking at the Switch. We're looking at other platforms.
Which is then you start getting into that platform territory with pricing, right?
It's the quality of physical collection. It's the quality of the collections, exactly, and that's why I asked this, because for me, like, I would pay a little bit more if that's what it took to get the bigger.
But it's subjective, it's an individual choice. Whereas, like, I wouldn't pay more for Tomb Raider, but Crow loved Tomb Raider, so we'd pay more. That's the point.
People are paying $60 for 50 Atari games on a handheld. You can't play those games anywhere else except on that handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you talk about quality of a collection, you gotta also say it's subjective to the player, because like just because you love Tetris, a lot of people wouldn't pay extra for Tetris because they don't like Tetris.
Well, I kind of disagree, but like,
how do you disagree that other people don't like Tetris?
How can you disagree with that? Like, what would make Tetris a quality collection for me if I don't like Tetris?
Well, actually, but the majority. No, but they are doing the Tetris Forever collection, but that's not an Evercade.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I don't see value in that because I'm not a Tetris fan. You do,
right?
Well, I'm not a huge Tetris fan, but I see value in it because we're getting so many different versions of Tetris. So, from a historical point of view, I do like that. That's from Digital Eclipse, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's the whole point, though, is that the majority of people do see the value in SNK, Sega, Konami, Capcom, or Taito. Those are like the big publishers, right?
I wouldn't want SNK because all you get was fighter games, and we hate fighter games on the Evercade.
Oh, they got shoot 'em ups. They got plenty of shoot 'em ups.
They got some shoot 'em ups. That's true.
Do you know, like, and actually, the funny thing is, when I went live last night, if Blaze, let's say if they branched off and they just did like a Neo Geo, and they made those like kind of like black and red carts, like Neo Geo's 160 games, and if they did those carts with like, let's say 5 games, and I don't know, they could come out with those like for the next 3 years if they got a deal. If they just had a Neo Geo.
I'll throw this out: the Activision collection, Atari 2600 Activision collection. If that came on to Evercade, I would probably spend more on that, but I'd say 80% of everybody else wouldn't.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like you mentioned the Activision collection, and they've had collections on previous platforms.
Yeah, I got them
had
all.
the one on PS2. You remember the one on PS2 where they had like all the licensed music and everything on it?
Yeah,
from the
I have
80s?
every Activision collection on every other platform.
I
But
remember playing that one
yeah.
the most, to be honest.
It's same as Ed didn't see any value in the Intellivision collections, but I did. And,
Not the-
and
not
I like it. It's actually
not-
more comfortable playing those Intellivision games on the Evercade than it is
Yeah.
on an actual Intellivision.
100%.
Not the second one, because the majority of those games don't have like good controls, and they couldn't get licenses to the rest of the good stuff. But the first one was good.
But that's the argument.
Let me
right?
take a look.
The second
Did I
one
like-
was just as good as the first one for me. So like
I gotta
that's
look.
value,
What did
right?
I like more? Did I like the first one more or the second one more?
It's an
I like the
impossible
first one more.
argument.
They were about the same for me, but the first one I have ranked
Yeah,
higher.
it's just an impossible argument when you come into quality and try to make your anybody's quality statement that of everybody. So what I say is Giga Cart, I do understand why I pay $5 more for that. Because it's physically a different cart.
Yeah, it's all personal opinion.
Exactly.
Speaking of personal opinion,
That's right. Yeah.
that's my poll.
Yeah.
I wasn't
you're
here
right,
last
Gene
week.
Joke. The fact I would have paid $25 just to have one game, Cloudy Mountain, on that collection because I can play it anywhere I go now.
Okay, so I wasn't here last week, and I like how you were talking about like how I wouldn't watch it, but I did watch it. So I
You
heard
never
everything you
watch
said.
it.
I told you.
But of course I had to watch it. I wanted to see what I missed.
Crow is a contrarian.
I did have polls up, and the week I was gone was the week I had the final poll for the best Evercade collection of 2020. And I don't know. No, that wasn't even in 2020. That wasn't even in the running.
How would you know? You had that cart you have a cart for a year before you even play it. Like, what do you know?
Well, back then I was pretty up to date.
Back in the good old
It was the
days,
renovation collection.
played
It was the renovation collection that set me so far back because I spent so much time on renovation. But it turned out the best, what was voted the best Evercade cart of 2020 was Pico Interactive Collection 1.
I've said that from the beginning of this show that it's always been the best collection they've ever
What's funny is the one it was up against, I would have voted for Namco Museum Collection 2.
That's strong game. That's a nostalgia game, right? The Pico one doesn't have the nostalgia. The Namco
it does. It actually does for me because I was familiar with a lot of the games on there already.
Yeah, but you didn't can you call it nostalgia or just you were just familiar?
I'd have to look at the list of games.
Yeah, because you didn't play all those games back when they came out in Korea and stuff like that. Like,
to be honest, I didn't play most of the games on the Namco collection either.
Well, then I can't. That's a you problem, sir. Like,
no, it's just it's not really. It's the same sort of nostalgia both ways for both collections.
Yes.
I knew of the games. I just didn't play most of the games.
Yes, I am on the Game of Thrones chair. It's kind of funny because a friend of mine, when Game of Thrones was in its mega popularity like 10 years ago, went to the Vancouver Retro Expo and they had the Game of Thrones there, the actual prop from the set. And he was accidentally dressed as Tony Stark. So he actually took a photo of him with his helmet popped up on Iron Man. He goes, and his quote was, "Finally, a Stark sits on the Iron Throne." If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you get what I'm saying. If you're not, shut up. I don't care.
Okay. I won't say a word.
Because, Stark, you guys haven't seen Game of Thrones, right?
I've seen one episode, and that's only because I have the riff tracks for it.
Yeah, so Stark is the big family in Game of Thrones. That was the joke.
Oh, it's not Tony Stark?
I'm not surprised.
Never mind. You guys aren't nerds.
But
back me up, chat. That was a good joke, right? Or a meme. That's how I discovered what memes were.
So if you
what's going on?
Firmware on your Evercade device?
Yes, but I don't understand why analog controllers is such a huge deal when it affects so few games.
And we don't have analog controls.
And it's not like I could use the analog controls for paddle games on the Atari 2600 collections.
Evercade, what are you doing?
why is it only for a certain selective games when if you play like emulation and anything else you can use analog controls?
Yeah, my
Like,
Polymega has a setting for it that I just gotta click it on.
For the
yeah.
games it does support, like I haven't played it, but Glover, but now I know I can play Glover with the analog stick.
Yeah, with your 8-bit dough.
Yeah, with 8-bit though, or Xbox controller or anything.
That's what I use for my Evercade VS over on the TV. I use the 8-bit dough because the stupid cords, even though they're long enough on the Evercade controllers, they're not great quality cords. They kind of get bent constantly, and I just don't like it.
Because
So,
like in
that's the
RetroArch,
biggest myth ever for Blaze. They've never just created their own wireless controller. Like, that's
no.
such a huge miss for this company, and they've had 4 years of me yelling at them. So do it now.
Mouse and keyboard controllers would have improved.
Now screw that.
ways.
Just give me a wireless. Like, partner with 8-bit dough or something. I don't know. Do something.
Do a faceplate. Yeah. But
Yeah, I
like
think they specifically said they're not planning on coming out with an analog controller of their own, and I don't see why they would need to.
No, because they keep building new versions of the old hardware.
they say they have they say they have no plans of an official analog controller. Again, I don't get this because in RetroArch you toggle a button and analog support works for all controllers. So I don't know why this isn't just available for.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. You're talking about using the analog stick instead of the D-pad, but it's still digital controls. You're just using the analog stick.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why people
pure analog controls.
What's the difference? Does it move differently? Because I haven't noticed. I guess that's what I'm getting at.
It wouldn't. It just feels weird because you're using an analog controller to control a digital, controller.
I've done that a lot, like for arcade games, and
the only games I could understand using it for are twin stick shooters because it feels more natural because you're using two sticks instead of a D-pad and buttons or something. So that's the only exception to that, I think. But
I completely missed this update.
But Xenocrisis isn't on the list. To your point,
because it's the Genesis version of Xenocrisis, and that doesn't have an analog controller.
Yeah,
there's no way. I don't think it's on any system except the Dreamcast that has an analog controller, and even there, I don't think it's analog. Because it's not really a twin stick shooter. It should be, but it's not.
Is it safe to update your firmware?
Yeah.
Yes, there was an update.
Might make 40 things for me playable if you can have the second analog stick to control the camera. Glover, it's much needed. Glover, I might have to give a second try.
Well, that's because
did we get a new game of the month update?
Yes, there's a new game of the month.
Okay, so this might be the dumbest feature they ever made. I don't know. The cart ejection. I almost thought it was a joke.
It's got to be a joke.
You know
right?
what? You can ignore it if you want. It doesn't really make a difference. I guess there's some people that like.
Wait,
what this is for? This is so if you want to make sure it's safe to eject your cartridge, you can. I don't know what the button combination is, and it says eject the cart. You safe. You know how like old USB, you plug in your computer and you can say eject USB, and it's like it's now safe to.
And you made this page up.
It's very similar. Because people are worried about.
I'm not being an asshole, but like, why? Why is this?
I think the worry is that since the Evercade writes to the cartridge, they want to be sure it's not writing to the cartridge when you're taking it out, and you're not going to corrupt data
I will
or something.
defer to you know more about this than me, but like, yeah, because there used to be a day where you'd have to USB sticks, right? You had to.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I never. Yeah, I guess.
But there's a point to this. You could ignore it totally. I don't think it affects you at all if you don't care about this. But if you do care about this and you want to make sure you're not corrupting your data, you want to be 1,000% sure you do this and you know it's safe to take your cartridge out.
No.
Okay, cool.
I'll never do this. I don't know. When I first got an Evercade, there were people like, I don't know, you shouldn't hot swap PCBs. It's like
maybe they tested something and something broke by doing that, and they said this is their get out of jail free card. If we mention it and somebody does it, I
think that has been an issue for some people where they've taken it out and they've broken the card.
Exactly, it makes people feel better.
I know. I take the carts out while I'm like playing.
Yeah,
them.
I don't do that. I at least get
They
out
said
of
it's
it.
not necessary. They said there's no requirement to use it, but I'm like, well, why are you adding it? It kind of gives
Because
mixed.
it makes some people feel better. And
I guess.
honestly, I don't think it would be anything that was that took too much time for them to implement. So,
And then I guess Turbo Fire is back, but it's still beta. So I don't know for arcade games.
I don't know. I've always had Turbo Fire, so I'm good.
Me too. But here's the thing, though. You can like my Truxton though, and I think Rich pointed this. I can no longer load save states on it. So something broke Truxton from loading. I can create them, but I can't load them. Something broke Truxton. I'd be curious if it does the same thing with you guys. But maybe they fixed that now. Yeah, or maybe with the high scores. Yeah, that's still
Yeah,
beta.
this is kind of. Now again, this is just so you don't have to create a save state for it to remember your high scores. But I guess it depends on whether or not the game itself retained like high scores after it was powered down. So if it did that, it would do this, and if it didn't do that, it still won't do this. It's still, if you want to keep all your high scores, you just create a save state. I don't think that's that big of a deal.
It gets add test Truxton now. I might have to, yeah. It's one of those things where it gets annoying. Like that's what like I get. Like I really get it. Here's the thing. It gets really annoying, especially like on the Super Pocket. Like every time I want to play blah blah blah, I have to do load. It's much easier if you can go into the game and play it like Atari 50, and it'll automatically just save your score.
But for some reason with the Evercade, I'm actually in the habit of always creating a save state when I leave. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just me though. That I'm just kind of trained to do that.
You know what they didn't fix yet though, and I'm gonna be on their asses until they do.
Oh, they haven't fixed a lot of things. So
Donut Dodo, sadly.
Well,
and the only reason I say that because Donut Dodo was something that worked, and then they broke it.
Well, it worked when it was Game of the Month. Wait, did it work when it originally came out on cartridge too, and then it stopped working? I never really got.
I think that that eject button's on the EXP. It should be, yeah, because it's the same firmware.
Yeah, it should be on anything that's Evercade related. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was on the Super Pocket too.
Yep, it still does. Hopefully, in the next version, it'll get fixed. The workaround for that is you can play it on the OG handheld. And I
No, well, I mean, I don't know if that's so much of a workaround because the original Evercade is still gonna be saving data the same exact way all the other ones are. So just because it doesn't have the feature doesn't mean that you could potentially have a problem if you pull the cartridge out while it's saving data to it.
Hopefully it will. Can we get a eject built into the Super Pocket? Too much for the Evercade, yeah. Bit of bait and switch there, yeah. Well, not like, and the reason I make such a big deal out of it too is because if you can buy an existing game on any other platform and it works and it loads and plays normally, there's no excuse for it to not do that on Evercade. That's
like almost every single Evercade game.
No, but all the other games like work though that are on other platforms. So I just feel like it's a sad thing. But yeah, I updated it. Oh, people were asking, is juggling? I don't know. I kind of like I played it like the juggling game. It's like a tribute to the LCD games. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of wish that.
What is that? Okay, got it. I knew there was a hidden game. I didn't know how to unlock it. So I guess that was been found already.
What's the hidden game?
What's the code? What do you have to put in?
Juggling. No, juggle. You type juggle. You
type juggle. That's the secret code. Okay.
Yeah.
How did people discover this? Because
was there a
hint somewhere?
I assume that Blaze told Crazy Burger, and Crazy Burger made a video, and then the Game Freak saw that video or saw on the thing, and then I found out from that.
Did you say juggling or juggle?
Juggle. Type juggle. Yeah. The game is called juggling, but type juggle.
G-G-L-E, juggle.
That's what I told people last night when I started streaming. I'm like, hey, you might be able to watch me juggle my balls. Juggle my balls, show my poles.
Okay. So
how could it work?
How similar does it look to the Nintendo Juggle game?
Well, it's Katie. I mean, it's
Katie doing it. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's
Katie doing
different.
it. Yeah, somebody, I forget who created it, but it was kind of, it was kind of cool.
Interesting that there's a new free game to play, no matter what it is.
I wish I wish they would do an update to the OG handheld and put that game on it as a built-in game. That'd be kind of cool. But they probably
You
won't.
can't play any. There's no hidden games whatsoever on the original handheld.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
So they're
Yeah,
not going to do that.
Yeah. Oh, it was in the blog post. Yeah, I must have not read that. But I'm
Really?
glad to
It
see
was
they're
in the
back.
blog post, like, because I looked at it and I don't remember it saying specifically this is what you need to do to get the game. It just saw there was a secret game. I didn't know if there was like
Which
some
blog
sort of.
post was that?
I'll be right back.
Okay. Which blog post was that, Gene?
I assume it was on Discord. I have to assume maybe. Maybe it wasn't on Discord. If anything, there should have been a link to this post on Discord in the announcements, maybe.
And then I did play a little bit of Soko Banana last night, which actually isn't that bad.
Oh,
Cool little...
this is a Sokoban game. Okay. I could tell that already by the name of the game.
Yeah.
It's a box pushing game, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like they've made a lot of these type of games for for consoles throughout the years. So this kind of like is a tribute to like box. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what they were called in Japan. So everything that's like a box pushing game is referred to as a Sokoban game.
Wow, this is a Kickstarter that was funded in 2019. Oh, okay. That's pretty neat. But yeah, this game, and if you like puzzlers, I actually thought this was one of the better games so far we've gotten this year.
Really? Wait, you mean as a game of the month, or just including games on cartridges? You're just talking about game of the month, right?
Yeah, for the Indie Heroes 4. Yeah, not in general. No. But for Indie
I
Heroes,
I haven't played any of the games of the month, so I couldn't tell you what I preferred.
Yeah.
I didn't play any of them.
Huh?
Too busy.
Oh, save states. Okay, thank God. I was like, what do you mean it won't carry? Yeah, of course. Sorry. I thought it was going to be on there. So yeah, that was like a neat little game. Yep, Sukabot clone. Yeah.
I finished Indie Heroes 3, made the video for it, and I moved on to Commodore 64 Collection 3, and I don't know what it is. I'm just enjoying that collection way more.
Nice.
What collection is that, Crow?
Commodore 64 Collection 3.
Oh,
for me, it's almost like a breath of fresh air for me after Indie Heroes 3. I don't know why.
The Commodore Collection 3? You mean Falmouth?
No, Commodore Collection 3, the one that has Boulder Dash and Breakdance and
how do you not love Boulder Dash as a game? Right?
Oh, I love Boulder Dash. It's funny. It's those games I always liked, but never really played a whole lot.
Dude,
and I played it a lot.
There's one on Atari VCS.
It's on every platform. Yeah.
No, but I think it's an updated one on the Atari VCS. I played about
actually
5 years ago.
It's on Steam too. I think I put it on my wish list. There's like a 40th anniversary collection or something.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's Boulder Dash.
For some reason, all my hidden games are gone off my VS.
Huh.
I think I've had that happen before after a firmware update, and you got to go back and unlock. Yeah, that sucks.
I never checked to see if they disappeared or not because I updated it and went back into the Commodore 64 collection.
For me, I don't know. If they never did another Commodore 64 collection, I would be happy.
They have to because they haven't. They need to do an Accolade. I want to see an Accolade Commodore 64 collection. I really do. I want to see Law of the West. I want to see Hardball. I want to see Mini Puck, Test Drive. There's so many good Commodore 64 games I played, and the only ones we've gotten so far are the Epix ones that I've played as a kid.
Truthfully, it's like I'll make a deal with Blaze. Just give us the Activision collection, and then they don't need to do any Atari collections, and then they don't need to do any like Commodore 64 collections. Like let that cancel out. I know that.
Why is the juggling balls game not just free, and why do you have to unlock it?
Because it's a secret.
It's
fun to unlock it. That's that.
Yeah, but the majority of people will never see it because I scored 10 in my juggling. Okay, I'm done.
little disappointed. Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
disappointed? How about massively disappointed?
At least the Amiga, like the quality of Amiga games is better. I want to like they need to do more like MX2, more homebrew, more they need to do like the home computer heroes. Do more of those because that collection was really good. Like do
Whatever.
Home computer heroes. Where did they put that? Oh, it's I gave it a C plus.
C plus.
Yeah, C plus.
that's not a because it's sus and not a quality game they need to hide from the masses. Probably. Yeah. No, no, I get it. No, I get that as nostalgia.
Better than Worms.
You want people to keep seeing juggling balls, a little bit of effort to get into there first. Yeah. No, it's more of the way. Like, listen, it's more of the way that they've been spaced out. I think the problem is it's been an overloaded computer collections, not as balanced. Like this was the year that Arcade got the shaft.
You can't say it's not as balanced because the computer collections is the collection group we have the fewest of.
No, but I mean, like, as far as like the release,
yes,
like,
it's a fact.
like the number of releases that comes out. Like, okay, so like, listen, like if you exclude the general public, like for a lot of us, anytime Blaze announces new hardware and anytime a computer collection or a Pico, most people groan. It's like, oh my god.
If you exclude the general public, who's not the general public?
Well, I mean, like people who don't watch the channels, like people who aren't like super fans. Actually, you know what? I would be very curious to get somebody who isn't like an Evercade super fan, like somebody who's just casually bought an Evercade, let's say for Tomb Raider and has 5 games. I'd love to get their opinions, and if they think that like we're insane for like the rabbit holes we go down and the stuff we talk about, or if they understand, or if they don't care, I'd be curious to know.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's why I have those polls to figure out what people like is the best game of the best Evercade game of that year, and so I was interested in seeing what people, general public would have chosen over me. Because for me, my best Evercade cart of 2020 was knocked out of the first round. It was Atari Lynx Collection 2 that didn't make it past the first round. So,
how far did Xeno Crisis get? Where did that rank?
How far did it made it to the semifinal rounds? It lost against something. I think it lost against Namco Museum too.
Okay, we're the opponent. What are Nibbles? I don't know what Nibbles as a secret game. What's Nibbles? Nibbles. Nibble. Oh, VSRs are going for $200 on eBay. Well, I'm not surprised.
Why are people so into? Is it the color? It's just gotta be the color.
Hey, like got too much money. Like, why are you buying that crap?
Like you're gonna buy a VSR that's exactly the same as the VS.
Well, maybe because
and just totally ignore the Alpha.
Is the VS no longer available in retail? That could be a reason why.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then that's why they're buying.
People think they're gonna buy it for $200 and then be able to resell it for a higher price.
VSR was delayed. Was that delayed, or am I like smoking crack?
Maybe they're selling the pre-orders.
So, yes and yes. It depends. Yeah, it depends on when you bought it, who you bought it from. If you bought it early on, you probably got it. But if you didn't, then you're in line and they, too much stock. It's the color of the box.
You would still buy the original VS for cheaper than $200.
Yeah.
Get games bundled with it, and pay less than $200 and get exactly the same thing, except not that specific color. It's got to be people that want that specific color or already have a VS.
Oh, Snake, dude! I'm surprised we don't have that as an unlock game. But anyways, no, I could see like paying more money for the EXP, like the original, because you get the HDMI out and you get the Capcom collection. But other than that, I don't know though. If I didn't have one, would I pay $150? I don't know. It's hard to say. You're old.
But it's delayed though, right? You're not getting it anyway.
Yeah. For a lot of people, it's delayed.
When was it supposed to come out?
There's
not delayed. When do you get it?
I think it's like October. I think I've seen some people say October, depending on who.
Okay.
Troll alert! Sorry. I know that is. Normally I'd ignore that. But I love when people will give an opinion without any context. What's faulty? Why? And you didn't buy 2 of the Tomb Raider consoles. You didn't. You're a liar. You're a liar.
I
Way to
didn't know
go,
he was a liar. He probably could have bought one, and
Yeah.
then
No,
didn't
dude,
work.
you'll have done YouTube long enough. You can tell. I remember like I'm calling out retro gamers. Somebody once said like they call themselves like Johnny Two Decks or something. They're like, I own 2 Steam Decks and I still watch your channel. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you didn't. No, you don't.
I mean, no, people have more than one. Pete, you've got more than one Steam Deck.
Yep.
No, but I'll tell you. Usually,
I have my original that I should sell. Somebody should buy that from me.
Yeah, the only reason I know you had 2 is because you said I should buy yours. And it's like, well, I want the OLED version.
Yeah, I know. You want it. I don't know why you bought a Steam Deck for.
because
I
you can
used it yesterday when
Yeah.
power was out.
Oh, there you go.
Here's you can suss people. No, there's one simple way you can find out that works every time. When somebody makes a comment like that, you ask them to explain themselves. If they can actually explain themselves, then then they're good.
I
Maybe they
could
were
make an explanation that makes sense. He bought one. It didn't work. He returned it, then bought another one, and he had the same problem. So he's like, I'm done. I'm not buying another one.
No, usually though, people will just like repeat themselves. That's what they'll do. They won't answer your question. But yeah, you especially if somebody doesn't have an avatar icon in that name, it's like, yeah, you can just Rasputin because GB. I'm surprised it's not like Rasputin like 50,201. I don't know. I could smell it out.
I don't really care if it's
I will.
flying or
One thing
not.
I do with them is they said enjoy your live chat, and I will, and I have been, and that's always true. So I just find that to be hilarious.
This is as far as I've ever made it in Tomb Raider.
Oh, dude, that level is a bitch and a half. It's funny, like Gene was helping like guide me through some of the like little spots because I will tell you there's like some ledges that like you're not sure if you can grab on to go, and he's like, no, you need to go there. But he's like, this level's a puzzler. It is. It's
Well,
what's crazy though. But I will tell you, I keep finding ammo for all the guns, like Uzis and shotguns, but I haven't found those guns yet. But yeah, I got to the level where like it's like an ice cave. I don't know. So, but this level, it was. So for me, if anything, like the controls are fine. I like the controls, the graphics. If anything, like all games like this, sometimes I may just like lose interest if I get stuck. But that's just.
I think I'm going to make a jump here, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Do a swan dive.
And you know what's amazing too? Save state because I asked Gene like real game saves are far and few between. Like after 45, like after this one, like another 45 minutes. Maybe it's a level after this you found a save point. So save states are a godsend, especially in this game. Like yeah. But yeah, I do that too, Pete. Like, can I make it? Save state. Like you have to. I heart retro. I said it right. I will let you know after impressions.
I'll answer your question. Yes, people are enjoying the Thalon's collection.
I can't wait to play it. I'm going to try to play it this week. What is this supposed to be?
Some games are hard.
Tomb Raider?
No, this little thingy.
That's a save. It's your save. It's the game. You save your game there. So press and you get like 1 per level. So back in the day, it was just like, okay, you get to save your game once.
I am so good at this game. I am a rock star.
But yeah, I really enjoy this game.
By the way,
in its retro form, tank controls and all.
Does the Switch version have tank controls?
No, you can switch between them.
Well, that makes the game probably very easy, right?
Maybe, yeah, it could, or it could make it more difficult because the game is designed for the tank controls to inch
I don't
up to
have
the ledge.
the Switch version of this. I don't think I do. Is it expensive, I wonder?
Probably.
Oh, there's something over there. I'm coming. Just
My
give
whole
me an
thing
hour to turn my view.
Yeah, you got to get used to it. But my whole thing is that playing a remastered version of this, you might as well then play the later Tomb Raiders. I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion because it's going to look like a completely different game. Although something like the Doom one was fine.
I bought the Evercade so I could experience how they were made. Like I don't really have any desire to play this game remastered. Like you know what I mean? Because I don't have a nostalgia enough to buy it.
Hey, Crash, They need to put this as a Katie says, save states are the God-given right of all Evercaders. We are old. We don't have time to be your playing.
Yeah, if anybody says, "Oh, you use save states," I can tell them to go F off. I'll do whatever I want to have fun.
Although I would say, if you say we are old, speak for yourself. But the time part, yeah, I agree. All good times.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah.
I was trying to drink coffee. Kill those dogs! Kill those dogs!
Quick!
The one thing that's great that I like that you can do again at save states is if you walk into battle and
I'm
die.
the best at this game. Look how I killed those two while drinking my coffee. Yeah. Oh, you guys couldn't see me. I had my coffee up to my mouth just as the dogs came at me. I'm like, oh shit!
Wait till you come across like the bear. But anyways,
hey, why you gotta keep spoiling crap?
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah, dude. I never played these games before, or I don't remember ever playing these games before.
But I remember playing Tomb Raider, and it was enough. I remember playing the first Tomb Raider game. It was enough for me to be like, I don't think I ever want to play another Tomb Raider game.
I think that's what happened to me too. This is gross.
Yes, yes, Lloyd. And when I email them, I don't do it from my Evercade Effect account because I wasn't. So they don't. They might know if they remember. Yeah, they got back to me the same day.
Better if you didn't do that, Ed.
The only time I did mention that were the Duke carts because I said, hey, because I had to, because I'm like, hey, here's the video where it fits. Like, I didn't want to have to reveal that, but I kind of had to. They got back to me. Sometimes I will say, if they get a little bit busy, you may just need to nudge them and reply again, and then they'll get back to you. Yeah, they got back to me like pretty quick, like next business day, I should say. Because I think when I emailed them, it might have been like, no, actually, it was a Friday. I got Friday evening. They got back to me on a Sunday. They should have gotten back to you faster. Now, if it was fun stock, I'd understand. No, sorry, but that's been my experience.
I'm getting
actually
cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. How do I use my health pads?
Oh, you got to press select, and then you can select it. Start pauses, select. Yeah, select. You can go through and see your items, and you can select. Yeah. And then you can press A and. So glad I didn't pre-order the new color. Sounds like everyone is having a mirror. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing that sucks.
Wait, I feel bad. I just opened that door. What the?
It's a timed switch. Yeah, Gina to tell me that
in a game with horrible jumping.
Yeah, you got to hit the switch and then run over there. Yeah, because I asked him the same thing. But yeah, I feel kind of bad. Like if let's say you already had it in EXP and you wanted a second console, and it's a good deal to get this with Tomb Raider, and now you're getting punished versus if you just bought the game. But it is what it is. It's a weird world we live in with like modern retro products being limited editions and all that stuff. And I just wish they'd put a disclaimer saying don't order from Amazon. No, actually, here's what I wish they would say don't order from Amazon because either they're being difficult or we don't care to fix the problem. And I'm being serious. And I'm being serious. I don't know what the beef is between Amazon and Blaze, but they're unable to settle it. And I think in the long run, it gives a bad reputation for Blaze if you try to pre-order something and then you have to end up canceling it. So I don't know. I'm like Video Games Plus for the win. They are. Since somebody suggested this, one of these days, maybe if they would do an affiliate link, I would do that. Because like Video Games Plus, I believe in. I believe. Oh, so do we think the alpha is going to be delayed, right? Like it's inevitable.
The door closed that quick?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, but who knows? Maybe one day they'll release something on time.
That's the one. Like, listen, I know Blaze is a smaller company, but I'm like they've been doing this for 5 years. I would think that they would have a marketing analyst or they would outsource it to some firm to be like, hey, typically we sell this X amount of consoles. Like they should have a better estimate of how many people are going to buy it. I don't know. That's, with the millionth cart for Tomb Raider, it's like, come on, man.
Well, with the Alpha 2, it's kind of unusual since they're distributing for in North America. They actually have a North American distribution. So who knows if anything's going to go wrong with that.
Yeah, I talked to you about this last night. I think the Alpha is a weird product in general, and I kind of like the Super Pockets make sense. They're cheap, they're stocking stuffers, they're impulse buys, they appeal to collectors, they can appeal to everybody. for me, for the Alpha, and I've said this, it's like it's going to be more of of a showpiece, right? I think it's going to be even like the Taito, like the Taito gaming ones and all that stuff. It's like it's going to be neat. You're going to play it. It's going to sit on your desk, and then it's going to be a showpiece. I think it's more for collectors.
What Taito gaming ones? What are you talking about?
Was where you could rotate the screen. Like those mini.
The egret?
Yeah, the egrets that everybody went like crazy over. Like anything like that. Like there's an initial hype, and then it's just it's. But here's the kicker though. Those those exact collectible scale arcades that are made by various companies like Space Invaders and all those. Most of those though do have an HDMI. Granted, you can only play that one game, but they do have an HDMI out, and they come with a little controller. So kind of kind of funny. But those are just meant to be like, hey, you're going to enjoy it. It's mainly for a display piece, but the novelty is that it kind of works. For me though, and I kind of said this, like if I really want the arcade experience to play an Evercade, just get yourself a joystick. Just get yourself a good controller. Because for me, playing it like that on a little screen doesn't do it. Well, and then I even went by to say, if you have a young child and you want to get them into retro gaming and arcade, that's who it's designed for. And I kind of feel like with the arcade one-ups, like they're kind of a smaller scale. Like those still kind of appeal, maybe except for the XLs, those still kind of feel like toys to me. I don't know, but that's, I mean, to each their own. That's cool. People get into that stuff. I just won't buy anything you can't. No, it's true. And I said that, like, for me, getting it would be pointless. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would be pointless.
Hey, you can literally live stream anything if you try hard enough.
Dude, yeah, but you know how much that's like going back to like early 2000s. Like, I'm like, no, I'm not going to stream it analog and point my foot. Like, that defeats the. No, like, I can say this now. I literally don't have time for that. Like, for streaming, like it's nice that I can just sit in this chair, hit a few buttons and switches, and I'm live. And that, and that's kind of like how it has to.
The Ed's not going to show you anything unless it's convenient for him.
Yeah, dude. I mean, but here's the thing, and I kind of talked to them about this, and I'll get you all's opinion. Blaze kind of prices themselves out of their own products. And what I mean by that is, let's say if they came out with this is what I maybe think they should have done, but I don't know where the price point. If they came out with the Alpha, let's say if it looked like the Katie one, came with a few little marquees, didn't have the branding of Street Fighter or Capcom, had an HDMI out, but then let's say if they priced it at $100, then it would compete too much with the EX. Then people wouldn't buy the VSR. Maybe they could do it at $150. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's a weird.
Well, that mini arcade, those components and stuff are, I think, more expensive than people realize they are.
Wow, I completed the first level.
I mean, it is, Gene. It is better quality than Arcade 1-Up, but my big thing is that it's too expensive for what it is. Because then for like a little bit more, you could get a Steam Deck, you could get a Switch, you know what I mean? It competes with way too many other.
Wait, you're talking about the Alpha competing with a Switch?
Yeah.
How so? You're not even remotely the same product.
No. But
if anything, that is competing with Arcade 1-Up stuff, like the countercades.
But I'll throw that into the same category because, or
especially, I wouldn't. It's not the same at all. It's a standalone unit. The Switch, I mean, is a handheld and also a console. The two things the Switch isn't what the Alpha is at all.
No, but it still plays cards. It still plays cards. You could get a joystick. But it can do more than the Alpha. That's kind of my. For as much as I don't like modern Nintendo,
true, but a PC could do more than a Switch. I mean,
well, yes, and that's
a Steam Deck can do more than the Switch.
Yes, and especially like that's kind of the thing, especially with like the PS7 Pro, that is like the price of a decently powered PC for Sony being ridiculous, but that's a whole other thing.
Which doesn't make sense, because if you had the choice, why would you go with the product that has $60 games when you could go with the product that has games you could regularly get for under $10?
Yeah, but the thing, like, from looking at it from somebody who doesn't have any of these devices, like, that's how I look at it for devices. I'm like, well, this is at this price range. Sometimes it is worth it to spend a little bit more, even though it's different. That's all that I guess what I'm trying to say, like put it this way, like on the Steam Deck, even though it doesn't have the nostalgia of looking like an arcade, it does, like, the Alpha doesn't look like a specific arcade machine. So for me, like, I'm perfectly fine using the analog sticks playing arcade games on my Steam Deck, and that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good at that. Some other people, they may want, and that's what I mean. It's more of a novelty. It's more of a showpiece. I think it's
It's a
more of a
novelty.
disposable
That's
item.
the thing. It's
No.
like, it's like those new wave products. It's like they cost around $200 or so. So it's like you buy that and you're like, well, why would I spend $200 on this when I could compare it to the Switch and get everything for cheaper?
So that's okay. I'll tell you why. Because that's different. That's what I was. That's what I was.
It's different because
No, no, because here's the thing. Because it's an exact replica and it captures the feeling and nostalgia in every way, and it's meant to be a showpiece. The novelty is you can play it. Versus the Evercade Alpha is more meant to be. It was designed to be played like a console. Like it's kind of the same thing that the II arcade suffered the fate from. It wasn't mimicking a specific console, like or a specific arcade, and that's why arcade one-ups have done so well because they look great. You know what I mean? And they capture that nostalgia.
Not necessarily because
of all the Evercade products, I thought it was a bit meh. I wasn't as super excited because as soon as they announced it, I'm like, oh god, how expensive is this thing going to be, and what is it? I don't know.
It's funny. Everybody says it's overpriced, but if you break down the components and try to buy everything individually, you wind up spending just about as much. And for everybody that makes these videos that says, "Oh, I can make one way cheaper," they're leaving stuff out of the price. They're like, "Well, I have this laying around, so it didn't cost me anything."
No, but I'm saying like the one that I compared it to were like the existing Pac-Man ones that were like under around $150 and might be a little bit lesser quality, but
lesser quality. That's why it costs less.
But that's the thing though with Evercade, like that's what I'm saying though. It's kind of like the Super Pockets, right?
I don't want to defend it too much because honestly, the thing's not out yet, and I haven't ripped it apart to see.
And that's like if you're spending that much money, then you might as well get like a Steam. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Or maybe like
if you're gonna spend $200, you might as well spend $500 on a Steam Deck. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can get a Steam Deck. You used to be able. I don't know if used to be able to get the LCD ones for $300 for the 64, or a little bit less on sale.
But we're talking about a completely different product with totally different. Like that's a PC. We're comparing a PC to basically an Evercade in an arcade shell.
Right, but that's the point I'm trying to make, though, Crow. It's like this thing is so niche. It's kind of kind of like the Playdate, right? Like for me, the Playdate falls into that category. Like it's overpriced for what it is. It's a niche thing. Like that's why
niche or not. I mean, niche or not, that's what it costs, and because a lot of people are saying like, well, it's for me the price. I can understand like, oh, I don't want to pay this much for this. It doesn't appeal to me that much. But you can't go around and say, well, I'm not buying it because it's overpriced. Because it doesn't appeal to you. Because, if you just wanted to buy it on a whim, you would have paid less for it. Just because you wanted to pay less for it doesn't mean it's overpriced.
I think I broke the game.
But it is though, because the price reflects, to me, the Playdate, like, if it was $50, I would.
Exactly, $50. Do you think how much do you think they're spending making the Playdate?
Too much. I don't know. That's because it's what I mean. Everything is relative to the price. If the VS or the EXP were $200, that's what I'm saying. The reason why Evercade works is because it's cheap for what you're when you're when you can play
a new move.
Yeah, you're on the right track. But that's what I mean.
No matter what product is out there, you're gonna see people. No matter what the price point is, you're gonna people be like, "Well, that's overpriced."
Well,
regardless of what it is. That's their justification for not buying it. Well, I'm not going to buy that. It's overpriced.
It's not so, and again, it depends on how people have different levels of disposable income, and usually it's a thing where maybe you could only buy that one thing per year. Seriously, I kind of fall into that. Let's say your budget is around $400. Are you
now you're talking about what people can actually afford?
Exactly. That's what matters.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter saying if a product is overpriced or not.
It does though, Crow, because let's say your budget.
No, it doesn't, because what you have to do is figure out how much they're actually spending to build this. We're talking about raw materials and labor to actually build this thing, and then seeing how much of a profit they're actually making off it. It has nothing to do with whether or not people can afford it or not.
And I'll tell you why. It has both, because let's say like $400 is your budget per year. Are you really going to spend most of that in getting an Evercade Alpha, or are you going to get like a Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch? You're going to get a Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch. Most sane people, unless are going to do that. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's what
The point that you're trying to make is saying that you're determining whether or not people can afford something determines whether or not it's overpriced. And I'm saying it's not the case.
That's why like the handheld market does so well for that's like AliExpress and Ambernick, and that's why those handhelds do so well, because it depends. The price
How much
is a
of
lot.
a profit do you think they're making on those things? How much?
I don't care.
I mean, they're not. Who do you think is making those things? They're probably using kids. Like they're paying pennies an hour to make these devices that you're buying on AliExpress, and they're, and all the components super cheap, super low quality. That's why those things are so cheap.
I don't know, the chat majority. Yeah, the majority of the chat's agreeing with me. I'm sorry.
Most.
Listen,
I don't see how most of the chat is agreeing with you when I'm right.
No, but definitely it
you can't
matters.
Say something is overpriced just because I can't afford it.
Yes.
I can't afford a Corvette. Does that mean it's overpriced?
Yes. Well, listen, dude, and that's why I say listen, it depends. As I say, it depends on everyone's disposable income. Some people have families, some people have multiple kids. It's all relative, and that's when you look at something. It's like, really, I'm going to pay this. That's what it comes down to.
You're looking at this from the wrong point of view. You have to look at it from the business point of view, not the consumer's point of view. If they're making what are their profit margins? If they're making a ton of money on a device they're selling, then it's overpriced, possibly.
But
basically, it's overpriced. It's overpriced. Here, let's put it this way. It's overpriced if, one, they are making a significant profit from it, and if they make the sale, and two, if the demand isn't there. Now, but there's both those things. Now, the demand might not be there, but if they're going to sell it at a loss, then they're not making a profit from it. Then it's still not overpriced.
But that's what I'm saying to the consumer. Like put it this way, all these companies exist because of the consumers, because we buy here's the thing
that is part of it. But it's like if something is worth a certain amount of money, like look at pricecharting.com. Okay, let's put it another way. So you say this game, price charting says this game is selling for this much, like $20 in new condition, new box condition, let's say. And then somebody puts it up on eBay and they're asking $50 for it. Now that's overpriced.
I think no. To be honest,
a lot of people can afford a $50 thing.
Yeah. Yes.
But if you're trying to sell something for way more than what is actually worth,
well,
and
it's overpriced. I will say this: somebody mentioned the Playdate is overpriced.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure I probably played more of the Playdate than anybody on this. It is overpriced.
Well, here's the thing. They still have a wait list for the Playdate.
Yeah, because it's less about price for that. It's about what the device offers to the consumer.
If they can't keep them in stock, hey, guess what? It's not overpriced.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
I would. No, it's one of those things where
but it's overpriced for me. Again, comes down to personal opinions, not general opinions.
Yeah. It's not whether or not you can afford it. It's the fact that they have it at a certain price, and you may think it's too much money, but the fact that people are buying it and they can't keep it in stock means that it's not overpriced.
That's because it's limited quantities, though. Like they can't risk just to say I'm going to make 10,000 of these. They have to take pre-orders and do that as people want them. You can still, exactly. Thank you. You can still afford and say yes. What do you like billionaires do that?
I agree with that as well.
Yeah. But the thing though is you have
if they're charging $20 for a Big Mac, you can afford a $20 Big Mac, but you're not going to buy it because it's overpriced.
Yeah, see that's the thing. Yeah, Playdate is a small company. Yeah, they can't over mass produce something. Exactly.
I think I just messed myself up.
Yeah, that's all that I'm like.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it depends on what the profit they're making for a profit.
The other thing with Evercade Alpha is I feel like it's one of those products that within our community, nobody asked for it. I don't see.
I'm pretty sure people wanted it. Somebody said it.
No, well, not, but no, that's, but like, it's
Besides,
not
just
something.
because how do you know what people want? And like, I mean, like you don't know. Some people just how do you know something you want something unless you know about it? You know.
Well, that's what you have to be. You have to be in tune with the market. That's what I'm. That's what I'm saying. Nobody
Well,
asked for
I
the
mean,
super
it's
pocket.
something that they may have
What's the
thought.
price?
It's something that they're like, well, it's something we can try. We don't know if it's going to sell or not. But they're
Yeah.
not like saying, I don't hear anybody asking for this. Why would we bother? There's lots of things
Because
that nobody asked for. They put out, and they wind up becoming big sellers.
no, that's not. Then you become like Sony, and you spend like $250 million to make a game, and then you have to take that game.
Exactly. There's so many things left with the
Yeah.
alpha as well. Like,
Or
yeah, it's costing this much. I'm making
yeah,
the assumption that, from what I've seen, like the IPS screen and everything, that would cost more than what they put in the Arcade 1-Up stuff.
yeah,
That it's the reason why it's costing more is because of the quality. Now, I could get the
and the
thing,
licensing.
and it could be like cheap wood, and the screen might not look that great. Yeah, maybe then it would be overpriced, but there's no way to really know unless I get the thing.
I think I think you're the alone contrarian. That's why I said
But
most of the
to
chat
say
agree.
it's overpriced just because you don't want to pay for it, that doesn't
Well,
make
for what
sense.
you're getting. I mean, for what I mean, yeah, no, I think for no, it's kind of like for what you're getting. Like
But
it can't.
it's like this conception. You have this thought that, oh, well, I think that this should cost this much, but that might not be the case. It's probably like the things in there, the cost of labor to build it. You're not taking maybe that stuff into consideration.
That's the screen. That's the wood is the wood is probably the most expensive thing in the licensing. I'm telling you, that's if they
The
released a
wood,
plain version of that without the licensing, it would be a lot cheaper. Like that's
yeah, well, it depends. Is the wood a lot better quality than what they're using for an Arcade 1-Up machine? Because the wood they use for that is pretty cheap.
that would be a good question to compare the two. But yeah, but like the Super Pockets, it's priced. I mean, that's why the whole Evercade is supposed to be like a budget retro gaming community, ecosystem. That's the whole point of it. That's why it works. They figured that out. Otherwise, if you get too expensive, you get to like switch territory and everything else. The pet rock is so. We'll see. But it's just like okay. So
Well,
I
I can't talk about the pet rock. I don't know how much they were charging for the pet rock, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's a little before my time.
yeah. It's to me it's not as Evercade adjacent to the other products. That's all. It seems different.
No, I could say that when I get it, that maybe yes, it is too high for what you get. We don't know that right now, but just to say that this is too much without sight unseen, that you're just saying that because you don't want to spend that amount of money for it. It may be worth that amount of money.
Tested. No, that's no, and I think you can still have an informed opinion about something without actually, depending on what it is, you can kind of see. You could have a better opinion, but that's why I say if Blaze sent me one just for review, and I would send it back
For the same price. Okay, well, here's an interesting question. If you buy an Alpha or PS5 for the same price, what would you buy? Okay, what price are we talking about? Are we talking about like the $200 for a PS5, or are we talking like a $500 for an Alpha?
I'd buy neither. Yeah, zero. Yeah. No, I'm zero.
Honestly, I don't know what I'd do with a PS5, to be honest. I don't know any games on it that I'd want that I already couldn't play on a PC.
Exactly. And that's why I say that's a whole other discussion, but that's the way gaming is going towards PC. If you can have a library of games that aren't going to disappear.
Okay, so PS5 brand new for $200, I'd buy that and resell it and make a profit.
Yeah.
No brainer.
There you go.
That'd be underpriced.
I don't know if I'd want to put in the effort for that. Really, I would just if somebody said you can have a PS5 or if you can have $200, just give me the $200, and I'll cut my time and energy to me would be worth more than having to go through the trouble of selling it and then maybe making a little. Unless you did like Facebook Marketplace, because eBay is going to take too much. True. I sometimes will. I logged in the other day to play the Konami arcade collection because I wanted to finish Haunted Castle. So yeah,
it's funny. I don't know, like who's just out of curiosity, who thinks that the PS5 looks good? Like as an object because to me it looks like one of the worst systems ever. Like, I hate the way that thing looks.
I wasn't.
And then when you see it, actually see it and see how big it is, it's even worse.
Yeah, it looks like it would be obnoxious to have in your living room, and it'd be like a big inconvenience to find a spot for it. Yeah.
Like if I had to buy like a PS5 or an Xbox of what is Series X, I would just go with the Xbox because that looks a lot better to me. But to be honest, I wouldn't really play either one.
Yeah. Yep. No, all good. All good discussions on things. It's hideous crap. But yeah, it is all about like the eye of the beholder and what people will pay. But I'm just the thing, with the Alpha, it was something that was just very strange for Blaze to go to.
I didn't think they would go for it. I didn't think they would go for something that would cost them that much to put out. But they did it. I guess they're testing the waters, and I really
it's kind of awkward. It's like
I really don't think it'll sell very well, because of the price. But at the same time, I don't really think it's overpriced.
Yeah, I think it's good for crossover for arcades, but here's where I feel kind of awkward. It's kind of like if you like, there's certain like arcade like channels that I like where people are dedicated to like arcade and retro games. And sometimes I will see them like either they buy like one of those like handheld knockoff devices or they get sent one for free. And I probably won't watch it because, to be honest, I'd rather watch like Retro Game Corps or another channel that's going to do that justice. And it's like, why are you showing this device and why does it belong here? That would be like me making Switch videos. Anyways, but I don't know. It's to each their. It's just it feels out of place. I hope it does well for Blaze's sake. I hope the people that get them and like really enjoy it. It's just yeah. It's just a weird. And then and then the icing on the cake, I thought you would think because we actually have an arcade device coming out, we'd get more arcade cards this year, but we don't. So it's sad.
It has nothing to do with it, I think.
Yeah, but
they would still come out with the same carts they were going to come out, whether or not the Alpha existed or not.
And that's the problem. It's like if you're coming out with an arcade device, promote arcade games, promote the arcade experience. The people would want. I don't know. But I just feel like the way that they do their advertising and promoting and stuff like that isn't in sync as much. Just like one other thing that surprised me, instead of having the Evercade Alpha, I'm really shocked that they didn't have like a Tomb Raider Special Edition VS and EXP that would have come out. I would have thought for sure they would have done that this year. That like for me, that was a big missed opportunity. But I don't know why they didn't do that. That would have, if they limited that to like 1,000 or 2,000 consoles, that it would have sold out instantly. Those they would have been able to have on time, and there would have been some controversy with that. But that's how it's always been with the limited editions. Like those usually aren't delayed, except when you have like people that steal them. So I don't know. I mean, somebody has to like look at. I feel like you have to. Not everybody can just be like, oh, Evercade's perfect. There's no issues. Like somebody has to keep them.
I keep drowning. I can't figure this one out.
It's tough. Save states are your friend. It's tough.
Actually, save states can actually be a hindrance as well. Like you could put yourself in an unwinnable situation without realizing it, do a save state, and then not realize it, and still have to go back and redo the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, that one there, I don't know. I got to be really good on the water on that one, so that was a tough one.
That's why you have to use the 3-point save state system, which is like in your third slot, you create one at the beginning of the level, then you use the second slot for when you think you get to, like when you're sure you're at a point where you won't get stuck like that, and that way you can use your quick save as much as you want. So if you do get yourself in a situation, you can always go back to the other two, or however many.
Yeah, I just need to find a better path forward on that one.
What's the point? They're kind of limited editions because people, I don't know. People like to collect stuff. That's kind of what I would have rather. That's what and that. So okay, so that's what I guess the thing that kind of drives me nuts is Blaze will do things that's proven to work, but then they treat that as a one, like the Duke Nukems, dude. I've never seen like those sold out like just as fast as like Analog Pockets. And I would have thought that like, oh, those sell out. There's a lot of love for Tomb Raider. Let's do Tomb Raider special editions. We have a showcase. Everyone loved that. I don't know. It's just It's weird. It's like they regress. I don't get why
they kind of just fell into the Duke Nukem stuff. Those remastered collections. The only reason they did those is because they already existed. Somebody had already made them, and they just happened to be able to get the license.
Yes, and that was brilliant. Dude, that's what they were so smart. That's one of the best things they've done.
That's just the coincidental thing. How often do you think that's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not my job to go out and research.
It's not like they planned on doing it from the start. No, they
no.
Hey, this exists. Let's get the license and put it out.
No, but it's somebody's job to do that, right? To investigate all licensing deals to go out, and that's how they got that. That was brilliant. That was like one of the best licensing deals they got. At least they don't get too complacent. Yeah. I'm just saying, if since they're a hardware company, if they need some cash grabs, like an arcade one, there's other ways they can do it. That's all. Licensing Tomb Raider to make a console. No, it wouldn't be though, because they got the guy from Eidos. Like they had the license already. It wouldn't have been anything different.
Maybe they just couldn't think of a pattern. Because I don't know what I would put, what kind of design I would use. Like, what are you going to put? Some kind of rune or something? I guess they had a T-shirt design. Would they put that design on the console? Is that what they would do?
No, you could make it like you could make it look like the save crystal. That'd be kind of that kind of cool color, or you could make it look like the Foundry rock. And then
you have it what color, and you paint the little save crystal on it.
You could kind of do, and then you pay some artist to have like a sexy wallpaper of Lara in the background. I don't know.
Why don't they just sell a Lara Croft sticker sheet, and then you could take the sticker and pop it on your EXP or VS, and bam, you've got your Tomb Raider limited edition.
You can do that too. I'm sure people can do that, or you can have pictures of her on it. I mean, there's lots of different things that they could have done with that. I don't know. I was because usually they do a special edition with the theme, and I was kind of surprised. No, I'm unless I get frustrated, I might jump Tomb Raiders, but I'd like to complete them before I go to the next one. I'd like to. Am I going to stream it until I beat all three? Maybe. It depends on the interest, right? I mean, I'll definitely live stream Thalnos. I'll definitely live stream the next collections, but I'll probably go back and forth. You could skip.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder, like, if somebody's out there making like replacement Evercade VS shells, like you can get yourself a transparent one or something. I wonder if that exists.
I wish, but it's not. Evercade isn't big enough for there to be a market like that, right? Or you'd see those all over AliExpress. I wish. Although there's no way I'm going to take apart my limited edition VS and do that. But if I had, but even now the regular VS, you can't buy anymore. So I don't know.
You do it with a regular one. You do it with the normal white one.
I should. Oh, I've been warned that I should look at the instruction booklet or like watch videos, which I'm not going to do.
Yeah, you know what? I watched a video of yours. What game was it you only played 3 minutes of, and then you came up with a final verdict? How do you do that?
So here's the thing, and this drives my wife nuts. Listen, I'm the kind of person, like, when I meet somebody, I feel like I'm a good judge of character. I can suss someone out. When I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and I know pretty quickly.
It was on your. Oh, I remember what it was. It was bone marrow. You never figured out how. You didn't even read the tutorial. It was on the screen, and you're like, I don't understand this. And that was your first look. That was 3 minutes, and then you did your final thoughts, and you still hadn't played the game again.
I'll tell you why. You should. Okay, like even
Bone Marrow is one of the best games in that collection.
No, I just.
It's better than Donut Dodo.
No, not at all. You're alone.
Yeah.
You're alone. Basically, like the Shovel Knight games, like that, like that's what it should. No, because listen, and like when I was a kid and I had unlimited time on my hands, yes, then it was fun figuring out how to play the game.
The game took me 5 minutes to figure out. It doesn't take that long.
No, but like if you have to figure out how to like, I'm not talking about like if it's a puzzle game, like how to beat an RPG. If you have to figure out how to play a basic game, then the controls are flawed. and it's not going to be enjoyable for me, and it's
I
not
don't
worth my.
think you understand the game at all. You don't control the little guy on the screen. You don't do that at all. That's, I think, what you thought was going to happen, but that's not the case.
No, and for me that's stupid. Like, I don't like that. I'm glad you like it, but
puzzle. It's a puzzle game.
no, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe I hold too of a high. Like, I expect the same level of fun as Tetris, and if it's not that for a puzzle game, then same fun level. Pete looks like a marriage counselor. I know his expressions are cracking me up too.
You guys are just
oh my god!
You guys are two argumentative people who care too much about your opinion, and you think your opinions are always right. I got to tell you something. Opinions are like something. Everyone has one.
Yeah, of course.
It's just funny. I stopped listening to you guys a little while ago, but
I knew that.
I'll just say I'll pick one of you. I say Crow's right.
Yeah, but
I don't know what we're talking about.
It's fun though. It's fun. See, no, and like it's fun.
Let me ask this. I don't know how you feel about what you remember Bone Marrow. How do you feel about Bone Marrow?
Oh, it's okay. I like that game.
See?
Yeah.
Ed played it for 3 minutes and decided he didn't like it.
Yeah, you're all in the minority.
No, I didn't find anything wrong with it. Like, it's like, but I mean, I'd go in with a big open mind, right? I didn't play the game before, so I try to figure it out. And you can watch my videos. You can tend the games I like is by the ones I play more of in my initial reaction, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I actually agree with DF. Big to small is better than Donut Dodo. Donut Dodo.
I'm not a fan of Donut Dodo.
Number 4.
Like,
it's
I've
not
said
even
that
in the
before.
top 3
It's okay.
in my collection.
But it feels like a poor man's Popeye in a lot of ways. But
I think a lot of levels are poorly designed in that game. I also don't like how you move up the ladders automatically.
Yeah,
like
it's
you
okay
can't stop
game.
in the middle of the ladder.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Donut Dodo, like for me.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I give it a 6 just because Popeye is one of my favorite games of all time. Even though, it's probably most people would rate it a 7 out of 10, or but I love Popeye. So
here's the thing, Crow. I expected like Shovel Knight Dungeon. That's what I expected Bone Marrow more to be. A game
really?
like that makes.
I don't know anything about Pocket. You don't control your character. The game is a variant on another game called 2048.
Yeah.
Which when you push a direction, you're sliding all the pieces to one direction.
Yeah. But the thing I'll say about Donut Dodo, though, and maybe why some people don't, it's a huge learning curve. Like, really, I want to say, like, I had to invest at least like 4 or so hours in it. Like when I played it on Steam Deck, just to be.
You know why? Yeah, but I mean, I think what you can do with Bone Marrow is like if you don't like that style of game.
Yeah, I can understand it if you don't like the game.
I played that game after that game. Like the fact that I just love I'm getting more into puzzle games. So for me, it was just, it had so much more depth than Donut Dodo for me. So that's what I really like, because my combinations when I was lining up on the puzzle board, trying to get my sword and my shield leveled up, it spoke to me. So that's for me. It's overall a really fun game.
I don't know what you mean by you can't beat Bone Marrow in one sitting, because I did play through all 4 levels in one sitting. And Bone Marrow, I didn't play as all the characters though. In fact, I don't even know what the difference between the characters are when you select them. So I assume there's some sort of difference. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think the challenge is how level high you can get your shield, your sword, when to heat, when not to heat, when nighttime comes, stuff like that. So yeah, I think for me, it offered a much more fuller game experience than Donut Dodo, but it's nothing against Donut Dodo. Like the game, have fun with it. Yeah, it's not the best game ever.
Yeah.
There is a huge flaw with
Donut Dodo requires a lot of like time investment. Like it's like super challenging. Like it's difficult and it's frustrating because it's unfair, but it's like meant to be.
Yeah, it's okay. So you're saying it's unfair, but yet it's still the best game in the collection.
Yeah, well, it's like it depends. Like if you love score chase, like for me, like I love score chasing games. Like it's kind of I get the same thing from roguelikes.
Another problem I had with Donut Dodo is you know how you can collect the flashing donuts. Like if you can collect them consecutively, you'll increase your score. You'll get bigger score for each consecutive flashing donut. I don't understand why every time you play, the flashing donut is random. So some games are easier. It's easier to do on some games than it is in other games. So
I don't.
You don't do it. But if somebody wanted to do it, it's just RNG. It's all RNG whether or not you're going to be able to get a good score or not.
And that's like with any sport, anything in life. There's always some element of RNG. That's why, like,
okay,
different.
the way I look at it is I compare it to a game like Bomb Jack that had a similar premise where you have to collect the bomb that's been detonated in order to get a bigger score, and it's always the same for every map you play. So you have a pattern to go through, and it makes sense.
You know what would be a cool game to get? Castle Crasher.
Yeah, it would be.
That would be
great for the.
That's kind of like a tower defense, right? Kind of a little bit like a tower defense, but it's more side-scrolling and stuff. But I'd love that.
Yeah, because it's a 4-player game.
Yeah, I would love to play Castle Crashers. I think that was the last game I ever played on my iPhone, maybe 10 years ago. I'm not sure.
Nobby the Aardvark.
Nobby the Aardvark? Yeah, that must be a British game.
I've never heard of that.
Well, I think is it a game in the... Oh, wait, is that on the C64 collection? Because if it is, that's a
I think it is.
Which is I haven't gotten to it yet, but yeah, that's definitely a British game.
Oh, exactly.
Because
no need friends. Just who cared about retro games, and that's why we're all here. Because yes, exactly.
I haven't opened Thomas yet. Thomas is still wrapped. I need to open it. I don't even know what's on Thomas.
All British games. That's all I can tell you.
All the British games. I'm gonna have to get some tea and crumpets.
I was like, speaking of games, we still have the 2 December cards. Do you think we'll know at the end of this month what they are? I mean, they have to.
What? There's more cards coming this year?
They haven't.
We don't know what December.
They're gonna get delayed. Don't care. How much stuff they got? VRs to come out. They've got those arcade things to come out, and 2 more cards. You're wishful thinking that's all coming together this fall.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully they better be announcing those new cards soon because you got to pre-order them. And
well, look at what they did last year, where they like released like 6 cartridges on
just
the same
day. Amazon, I'm sure they've leaked. Go to Amazon, and I'm sure the carts are up there. They probably leaked. But yeah,
I'll get the Thalamus eventually.
Yeah, just come to my channel first and watch me mumble and bumble through.
Yeah, watch everybody else first.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna.
Everybody else, I have their videos up first.
No, I'm gonna rage at it. No, and again, like the great thing of this discussion, it depends like what's really important. You know, for you playing games. For me, there's like a purpose. Like I need to accomplish something, whether it's a high score, and then it's like the controls. Like how easy is the pickup and playability? Like those that for any game, those are like my 2 most important things. Because then I'm gonna have fun. If not, then it's
Mine is like I don't really have a reason like what's important to play video games for me. I just play video games to relax, and that's not like just so that's why I play tons of different genres and stuff. It's just that's all I do. It's nothing. I don't have to accomplish anything when I play games. Just as long as I'm having fun, that's all I care about.
Oh, there you go. What about you, Crow?
What about me?
What about love?
I was like, did you hear me and Pete's responses? Do you just like to like play like different games, different experiences? Do you like to accomplish stuff playing games? Like, why do you play games?
It's just interesting.
Other than just enjoyment.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see like the different, I guess I don't want to say genres, but it's always interesting to play something different and see like if there's something that makes the game unique or stand out. Like, what's funny is that breakdancing game on the C64. I played it knowing vaguely what it was about, but and kind of how stupid the game is, but the game is like really charming just watching those people breakdance. So it's something that's unique.
What I think is interesting though is like if a game is bad, you like to keep playing it to see why it's bad.
Well,
like,
if a game is bad, I'm like so curious. It's like, is there something I'm missing about this? There's a reason I'm not liking this. So I'll have a tendency to play those games more. Like that's why I played The Legend of Wukong for 20 hours. Because I'm all the way to the end.
Wait, Legend of Wukong or Black Myth Wukong?
I don't remember this Wukong. It's the Wukong game.
The one that just came out?
No. This one has been out for a while. It's an RPG.
Oh, whoa, really? Is that on the Evercade?
Yes, I played it on Evercade. I thought it was the worst RPG, but I played it all the way through just to see if there was something I was missing, if it got better. And no, in fact, it didn't. And by the time I got to the end, I was like, this was really disappointing.
Yeah, I feel like you do as a
What
public
collection
service.
was it? What collection? Pico 3.
Pico.
That's the collection it was on.
I have more fun watching you play that and you talking about it than I would have played the game. So I feel like I feel like you took a bullet for all of us, and we don't have to go through that pain, and it's fun watching you do that.
Yeah, I might have been the only person that
Yes.
played through the entire game on the Evercade.
Well, I should send you a patch for that, dude. I swear to God. Yeah.
It's not because it was hard. It was just so boring. There's no side quests. The game goes straight from point to point to point. Oh man, the item management in that game is terrible. You don't know if you're buying equipment that's better or worse than the equipment you already have.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you guys are being over dramatic. It's an okay game. Like, geez whiz.
No, I played through the whole thing, 20 hours. I could tell you it's a 2 or 3 out of 10.
You just unreleased games get unfinished, released rare, fascinating favorite part of Evercade. Yeah, it is kind of video game archaeology. No, and normally the formula works. This year is just special with the number of Picos, Commodore 64 collections, lack of arcade, and delays. That's all. It was just kind of like a storm between things. So,
hey Crow, you should see if your Wukong video spiked in performance when the Black Myth Wukong came out a few weeks ago. Like, you can see.
Well, that would
people
be
accidentally went and looked on your video thinking it was Black Myth.
That was on my Pro Capture channel. So let's take a look.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That was just the whole game.
So 2 weeks ago, Black Myth Wukong came out. So.
I cut stuff out of that. It wasn't all the way through. I cut stuff out of it, so it fit within a 10-hour time limit.
You know what, Gene? For some people, it's one too many. No, I've told you all what the problem with Pico this is something I don't. Initially Blaze didn't probably think there was initially going to be more than 10 carts. So when they went to Pico, they just said, we'll take all your best games, and had those games been spread across all the collections, that would have made Pico stronger.
Okay, so does that mean that each Pico collection gets progressively worse and worse?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Sadly, that's.
Well, I'd have to.
But I mean, I've enjoyed. Listen, I've enjoyed those. I've enjoyed the C64 collections to a point too, as well.
I got a question for you. I think would you think you enjoy the majority of the Evercade games you played, or are you saying you probably not enjoyed the majority of the game? Because I would think, based on the last couple of years, you've probably not enjoyed the majority of Evercade games you played.
No, I don't know why you would think that, but no, I have. I've enjoyed them. It's just that's kind of what I said earlier.
Someone should go through your review videos and just see, because that's a fair question, right? To all of us, it's like there's like 400 games for Evercade. How many have you enjoyed versus you've not enjoyed?
Well, I can tell you.
I'd say it's a 50-50 split.
I think for me, it's slightly it's basically I have the 1 out of 10. Basically, we could ignore everything I gave a 5 because that's just in the middle, no preference one or another. And I could tell you the number of games I gave a 6 to a 10 to far outnumber the number of games I gave a 1 to a 4 to.
Okay, so you've enjoyed a majority. Well, you've enjoyed a majority of them. Okay.
It's a hard question to ask because every single cart that I've gotten, and I know like Rich says, is like I've enjoyed at least one game, maybe except for the exception of like Worms Collection. I've enjoyed at least like one game that's on all on all the carts.
That's what I'm saying. So if you say you've enjoyed one, that means the rest you've not. So, or not enjoyed. So then if you look at the math, it's probably easy to say you probably enjoyed less than you've enjoyed.
But see, I don't look at it that I look at it on a per cart basis. I don't look at it on a per game because they're not sold.
You know what?
So that's why the majority of the carts I like them, or I wouldn't keep buying them. I wouldn't keep doing it.
But it doesn't matter per cart. If you've enjoyed one per cart, means you've enjoyed less than you've enjoyed.
No, but it's because I'm not buying individual games where I get to choose. I'm buying the cart. I know. Are you trying to say that like the majority of the time I don't enjoy Evercade? No, because I wouldn't keep buying.
No, I never said Evercade. I said the games on Evercade. That's a big difference. So what you're saying is true. You've enjoyed less games than you've enjoyed in the Evercade ecosystem, but you still enjoy Evercade.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and keep track of that. Like I said, that's the individual game, like something like Xenocrisis, where there's like 2 games on it, like a cart, like that matters. But I look at them as a cart because it's the whole experience. I don't look at them as individual games because we're buying a collection.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I don't understand. If there was a third game that was really bad on it, you would think less of the cartridge than if there were just 2 games on it.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying total of games, 400 games. It's less about the cart. I'm just saying, like in general, you've enjoyed less than you've enjoyed because you said you enjoy usually 1 game per cart.
No. I was saying no. I didn't say usually. I said if I enjoy only 1 game on the cart, it makes it worth it, and that's been the case, right? Because they're only $20.
And I think that has to be
also,
the case for everybody.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Look,
like you have to enjoy at least 1 game.
Yeah, what you're saying is that if there's a bad game on the cart, that negatively impacts all the other games on the cartridge.
That doesn't do it for me.
Depends,
I wouldn't
but
do
like,
that.
think of it this way: there's no black and white answer. It depends. It depends on the collection. It really does. Worms was.
I have a black and white answer. No.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You could ignore the bad games and only focus on the good games.
But I'm saying you can't look at it in black and white. Like there's more like Xenocrisis, right?
You
like,
now just proven my entire argument with you guys arguing the entire time. It's all about subjectivity, and the only thing we can argue about and be firm in it is how they put out broken carts or how they delay stuff, because that's reality. But everything else is just a very subjective opinion.
Yes. That's how it is with all content creators, but that's why people watch us. They care about our opinions. Yeah.
However, the whole point is to put your opinion into perspective.
Yep.
Yes. No, that's why I always justify and say why I don't like this or why, I think we all do that. Like if you say if a game is bad, and that's why I give my disclaimer and I say just because I think a game is bad or if I don't like it, I don't want to take that away from somebody else who does.
But you can't. Nobody could take your opinion of something like Farming Simulator 64 because you only played it for a minute.
But would you be surprised though? A lot of people related to that. Some people did complain. But here's the thing that I say, Crow, and I think you'd agree. Like it's your YouTube channel. You can do whatever you want. Like that, and that's like the whole point. If you play like. That's the difference between us and people who do this for a living. If you play a game for 1 minute and you don't like it, you don't have to suffer and make a review on it. And that's what's awesome about the hobby, right? We can do.
That's what I don't understand is why is playing a game you don't like suffering?
Because it's not for the same reason sitting on a spike would be suffering, but some people might like
because it's not fun. And if you're doing it just for fun, that's why it makes sense. But if you're trying to build a business and trying to get money, then
it's
a different thing.
I'm not saying that like my answer is the only right answer and I'm right and everyone's wrong. No, I'm just saying for my opinion, what I say is valid. I think y'all's opinions are valid. I think everybody has their own valid opinions. That's all. And it's good that we have all this diversity in opinions. Otherwise, it'd be pretty boring if we just said Evercade is awesome. There's no flaws. And actually, I know like when I was on Facebook a while back, I've actually been accused by saying that all because some fool thought that like the Evercade should never ever have to update the firmware on an Evercade. Like what?
But let's take this out of context. Let's say that you're looking for a new car and you're trying to find people's opinions for, this car that you're looking at. And this guy takes a look at the car, says, I don't like the way it looks, 0 out of 10, and moves on. It's like, you take his opinion seriously?
Not if he's writing an Amazon review. No. But Immortal summed it up. He said it's like being whipped by your wife. It may not feel good, but she enjoys it. No, you just explained marriage. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sword of Sedan. You know what? That was one of the weird ones that actually it was so bad it was good.
That was interesting. I gave it a positive score.
Of course you did.
That would have been one though that I would have been pissed at myself back in the day if I paid like $50 for. Like that was a game.
I don't know about it. You got to think about back in the day what was out there. You probably would have been. It was on a early Genesis game. You probably been like, look at these graphics, and you would have been happy with the game.
So what's funny about Sword of Sedan, that sums up like how I feel about a lot of AAA gaming. You look at it, you look at the graphics, and then you play it, and you're like, "Ooh, God, yeah."
Well, things are different now, but back then, you figured out how to play the game, and you made the most of it, good or bad.
That's true. No, that's true. You could say as gamers, like we're all spoiled. Like, yeah, for that reason. Oh my god. Well, I think things may be winding down. Oh, this was excellent. I love. It's fun to have like these like debates and talking about things, and that's why sometimes when I get like a Yahoo on my channel and I say I enjoy intelligent conversation, like this is intelligent conversation, like talking about things, being passionate, but just not saying like you're dumb and something is dumb for the sake of it. That's all.
You all dumb. Do it for fun. Don't do it for anything else. If it's not fun,
Yes!
do something else.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
And if somebody
That's the
comes
whole-
to your channel and are assets, ban their asses.
Yeah, that's why we do Evercast. No one's like like forcing us or telling us. We do it because we enjoy hanging out and giving each other's opinions. And yes, that's exactly we enjoy people's
I got nothing else to do at 8 o'clock in the morning.
The truth is, Pete comes like, yeah, you all are just a bunch of bozos. I just need to kill time. Cool. Anything else you guys want to discuss, or are we at that point where you guys want to like plug things for our channels? And
I got nothing to really plug. I put an Evercade video out. Yay for me! Evercade videos on the channel. It's about the Tomb Raider collection, so it wasn't as bad. It was very nice, very nice. So yeah, go check that out. And might be live streaming today or tomorrow. I think I'm going to live stream today or tomorrow. I just don't know what I'm going to live stream. I have no idea, but I'm going to live stream something.
Very cool. Very cool.
After I go get some hockey cards.
For some reason I thought you were going to say hot dogs.
No, I don't really like hot dogs. They give me the diarrhea. When you get a certain age, it's just it's just like certain foods just stop agreeing with you. Hey, wait, where's Rich today?
It's an hour and a half later, you're just realizing he's not here.
No, so I know like because me and him were going to do Calling All Gamers, but like his pastor like needed his help. I think doing some computer stuff. So, but I think he was kind of bummed that he was like I'm thrilled that he needs my help, but I need to. He's like I need more personal time to hang out. So, yeah. He's Gandalfing.
And DF is right, of course.
Oh, for love of God, get over yourself with your hot dogs. Tribalism is unbelievable.
Oh,
Just hot dog any way you want.
For sure.
Put mayo on it. Just do whatever you
Oh,
want.
man,
Hot dog any way you want.
Seriously,
No right way to
last
eat
time I saw somebody put mayo on a hot dog, I think I was going to throw
There's
up.
no right way to eat a hot dog. Just eat the hot dog and enjoy it. You know what? There's a store that does burger dogs. So the big long thing, I think it's Circle K. It's a burger instead of a hot dog. Man, that's pretty cool.
So it's like a sub sandwich with a burger meat.
No, instead of a wiener, it's a burger meat, and it's wrapped like it looks just like a hot dog, but it's a burger meat, and it comes in a hot dog, so it's a burger dog.
So it's kind of like a mini burger sub.
It's a burger dog. Why are you gonna make it a sub? It's on a hot dog bun. Go to Circle K.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Yeah, I know. That's such an awesome line. Circle K. That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
So, Crow, what do you have
the
going
best hot dogs actually in Canada, and if you're Canadian, well, you're awesome just by being Canadian. Go to Quebec because Quebec has steamed hot dogs, but their dogs aren't like traditional hot dogs. They're kind of like, you ever see a lobster roll, like where it looks like they have a different type of bun? That's the hot dog buns they use in Quebec, and it's amazing.
You guys are making me too hungry for lunch already more than I am.
Here in Winnipeg, called Wienerpeg. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Nando's for lunch. That's my goal. Me and my boy are gonna go to Nando's. If you've never had Nando's, it's the greatest chicken place in the world.
Ooh.
You ever heard of Nando's?
No, I've never heard of Nando's.
Nando's is a South African chain that's all over the world, probably not in your area then, that does grilled chicken, and they grill it right there in front of you, and their wings are amazing. Yeah, I don't know if you
I know. I like.
It's really popular. Really popular in Canada and in like England, Europe, South Africa, Australia, stuff like that. I don't know why they don't have them in the US.
I don't know. It sounds like they should.
Because you guys do
KFC and
fried chicken,
Popeyes.
right? You guys, everything is
Yeah,
fried.
we got
down there.
KFC. We got KFC and Popeyes.
No, but it's not fried.
Chicken.
It's grilled, like barbecue grilled chicken. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. We don't have them. Well, we have Chick-fil-A.
That is.
They do have grilled chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm going to be at Portland Retro Game Expo. Taking my family down. So if anybody's at Portland Retro Game Expo, Pete will be there.
Nice.
I bought a 3-day pack for myself and for the family. It's pretty cool. So we're going to just go hang out at the Portland Retro Expo. So I'm going to get into the US. I'm getting in you.
Go meet Pete.
I will, when I'm there, I'm going to be hanging out at the free play all the time. That's what I want to do. I don't plan on doing a lot of shopping, but just hanging out and playing games.
Sweet.
You haven't gone.
I know
like
you guys.
4 years.
I know you guys thought I was gone last week because I was at the Pinball Expo, but that's not till October.
Yeah. Why did you watch the show? We talk smack about you quite a bit.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm. Did it on purpose.
I want to see what I missed. I watch YouTube while I work.
It was yeah. Well, don't we all? But it wasn't. It was a good smack. It wasn't a bad smack.
Yeah. Just knock him around.
Well, obviously, I'm okay with it. I'm here right now.
Yeah.
You know.
There's nothing we wouldn't say. Nothing we wouldn't say to your face. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know what you were talking about before the show started, but you know.
How does nobody in
during-
the chat know about Nando's? Like, I thought for sure we'd have some English people in our chat. Maybe they don't watch our channel because we make fun of England all the time. But we have a right. Canadians and Americans have a God-given right to make fun of British, right?
I think almost literally
I
everybody.
make fun of
does.
all people.
That's not
equally.
British.
No, but we do have the God-given rights because we were all both colonies of England.
Actually,
You guys
a
kicked
lot
their
of
ass in the
people,
war,
a
and
lot
we
of
just
countries.
politely Hey, Crow, you guys kicked their butt in a war, and we just politely asked them to leave.
But there were a lot of like places that were British ruled that are no longer. So
Yeah, oh yeah,
like-
I love, like, I have no problem with English people. I love them. Actually,
Yeah.
one of my lieutenants at work is from England, but I just like making fun of it because every time he gets out of line, I'm like, hey, listen here, buddy, you're in Canada.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's all good fun.
We do this, and we do the same about Americans.
Well, we're all allies, right? So
Oh
for
my
now.
God.
for what do you mean for now?
Jesus.
Don't tax our tea and steal our beaver pelts.
That's interesting.
Kurt, remember
Team
to come on
GF
Skype.
knows what I'm talking about. Nando's is awesome.
What do you want to plug?
Well,
Hot dogs.
I did finish Indie Heroes 3, so I have an Indie Heroes 3 video out. That I'm really
It is
surprised
so
is
good. It's such
Yeah,
a good
it is.
collection.
and I don't know what it is, but nobody's really watching that, so whatever.
Yeah,
But
Evercade doesn't do well on my channel. Like YouTube keeps telling me to cut Evercade from my content, and I'm like, screw
Really?
you, YouTube. But
And-
this
but
is one of the best collections ever put together, in my opinion. I absolutely adore it. To the point where it's always on my desk because I'm always looking to play it.
I
Nice.
don't remember where I put it.
Nice.
The best in here.
Nice.
I
And we
don't
all
think it's
knock the
better
French.
than Indie
Moi,
Heroes
je
1.
parle français, mais très beau.
But I saw yesterday put out a. I wanted to go back and redo, like, play again all the Pinball FX tables. So somebody had suggested the Godzilla versus Kong table pack. So I have all
That was
three of those
me, I
videos.
think. Didn't I tell you that a couple
Mm.
months ago?
You may have, but not as a
No, but you don't
comment
listen
in
to
a
me.
video. There was somebody, I can't remember their name, and I specifically called them out in the video that requested Godzilla versus Kong. So I put out the Godzilla table yesterday. Next week I'll put out the Kong table, and the week after that I'll put out the Godzilla versus Kong table. So maybe I could keep up where I could do one of those videos a week.
Yeah, I did the Godzilla versus Kong video, and Crow, I was the one that told you I love that table, but you don't care and you don't listen to me.
I don't
And
remember.
nobody watched that video on my channel. But I love that table.
Well, what's funny is I put out that Godzilla and it instantly did better than the Indie Heroes 3 video. So,
Yeah. It's funny.
but
Nobody watched that video on my channel, so, but I love
barring any suggestions I get, because I might want to do it again to Sunday. start filming more. Like filming every Sunday those Pinball FX videos. I don't think I get any more requests, but I might jump into either Fishtails or Indiana Jones. Maybe both. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got to do some tables. I haven't bought those, so I need to pick them up. I'm waiting for the sale.
Well, Fishtails you have because it's free.
No, I'm gonna wait for the Indiana Jones table, like the tables to go on sale, hopefully during the fall sale.
But I'm saying you have Fishtails because it's free.
Oh yeah, okay. But you know me though, I tend to go to IPs I like, right? Not necessarily generic ones. So
it's a fun fishing pinball table.
Oh, I like fishing. Oh man, one of the best tables was that non-licensed soccer game. Did you play that one? That game was so good.
Where you have to play. It's funny. In order to play a full game, you have to play like 3 soccer games.
Yeah, but it's such a good table, Crow. One of the best tables.
But you're not talking about World Cup soccer, right?
The one that came out this summer.
Yeah, that's actually an old table though. It was already in Pinball X2.
Oh yeah, but that was before my time. So and I really enjoyed that table. I thought
it's a fun table.
Very fun.
It's interesting how you have to make certain shots or otherwise you lose the ball.
Exactly. It's like.
But to be fair, to me, my favorite soccer pinball table in there right now is World Cup soccer.
Oh, I don't know if I have that one. Is that Pinball FX3 or just
Pinball FX? Yeah, Pinball FX. It's in that, and I don't think it's in anything else. But it's a Williams table, so it's based on the 1994 FIFA World Cup or whatever it is.
Oh, the American one.
Yeah, that was the one that was based in America. It was in America.
The next one's in America and Canada and Mexico. I'm gonna see if I have that table.
The whole goal of that table is to beat Germany to win the World Cup.
It's always the goal to beat the Germans. When I was at Gamescom at Cologne, man, it was so much fun. They're such a great people.
Nice. So real quick, next week will be Thelma's. God, sorry about that. It's still sealed. I feel like copying Crow. I'm going to open that. That video I'll probably record this weekend. And then tonight at 9 p.m. Central, I will be streaming live.
You ain't copying me because I already opened mine.
All that, you know. Tune in for that. I should change the title. Cool.
What'd you say? What'd you say? You're streaming tonight?
Yes.
I assume you're streaming every night.
Yes. No, well, it's weird because I've done 3 streams.
How do you get the time? Like, I want to know how you get the time.
He does that while I'm sleeping.
Like, so, Ed, you're always on, and I'm like, how does he get the time?
It's not like like Friday and Saturday nights. Those I can usually do because it's the weekend, not having to work. Thursday I work remote, so sometimes I can. I don't know because since Friday nights are high school football, and my daughter's in color guard, I have to stay up. And when I got back home, I took a shower. I felt energized, so it's
nice.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, I don't know. It's sometimes more than others. It depends what family stuff is going on and all that. But that's why usually later at nights. I mean, sometimes I could go to bed, but it's weird. I get like a second wind. I don't know. I can't really.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I didn't realize you were back to work. So that's why. I didn't realize that. That's why I was asking. Sorry, because I know you were in between jobs, and I was like, wow.
For over a month, yeah. So it depends. Otherwise, typically during the week, maybe I get 30 minutes. Maybe I'm too tired.
Hey, Crow, is the World Cup soccer got a thumbnail with a dog?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't own that. I don't own that. Nice. Wait, no, it's a trial, so I don't own that. I might trial it and just see.
Yeah, trial it. It's a fun table. I played it in real life. I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna trial it.
But streaming though, it's more like a hangout. It's kind of like this. It's like going online, hanging out with friends and people, all sharing an interest.
That's cool, man.
So. Alrighty. Well, anything else you guys want to say before I roll the end credits?
No, I'm good.
This is absolutely fascinating.
All right, everyone. Well, thanks for watching.
I wake up in the middle of the night and Ed is streaming.
Thanks, Crash Line, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Ember Cummings, Joe Whitlash.